Oh boy, I've been listening to the new Chance the Rapper album as of late, and I've been loving it, man. I've been loving Starline so much, and I figured that you know what, I think I can actually pull off and just make a tier list nuts to butts right now, and that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm going to be doing a Chance the Rapper tier list, ranking every all of his major projects from S to F tier. And before we get into the tier list and I transition to the next screen, I just want to say that there are three projects that will be excluded from this tier list because I just want to focus on Chance's main projects, that his solo album projects to be exact. So projects like Surf featuring him and the Social Experiment, the Free Bass Freestyle mixtape featuring him and Lil B, and his Merry Christmas Lil Llama mixtape. Those three are going to be out of the running as again they're collab projects. They were essentially made respectfully in their creative process to just simply have fun, go all out, you name it, you guessed it. Again, it's going to be literally his four projects, or sorry, his five projects that he has that got him to where he is today. And that's what we'll be tearing out more or less. All right, and as you can see, we have the tier list up here, and we're going to start with the one project that really made Chance, more or less, and that is 10 Day by Chance the Rapper. This is his debut mixtape to come out back in 2012, and this to me was unironically wasn't my first introduction to Chance the Rapper, believe it or not. 10 Day was a project that I did listen to after I listened to his project I'm going to cover in a little bit, Acid Rap. But 10 Day, when I decided to give this project a shot at the time, this was really Chance showcasing what he had to offer, what he had to showcase. There's definitely some iconic songs over here that still are like really good in the Chance the Rapper lore to this day. From 14,400 minutes being like a really strong intro to start off a Chance the Rapper mixtape, to Brain Cells, Long Time, You Got Me Fucked Up, Family featuring Vic Mensa as Suleiman, even Juke Juke being like one of the I think Juke Juke was like the blueprint catalyst to what acid rap was going to become at that point. Um, and again, this mixtape was really good. It had some low points and some and such, but this was Chance where Chance was like really at his fullest potential in his mixtape era, you could say. And believe me, like when I listen to 10 Day and comparing it to Acid Rap, it truly is like a night and day experience because while 10 Day is a mixtape that you can always go back to and appreciate a young Chance the Rapper when he was up and rising, this mixtape definitely had this showcase like, hey, this mixtape had a lot of growing to do. Chance still had to work his pen game a little bit, and again, the style and inflection of what Chance had to offer had potential, but it wasn't fully realized. And there are moments where, again, some songs may not have aged all too well because again, this mixtape came out back in 2012, so this was during a time period right when you already have other big names that were blowing up that same year. And more specifically, I mean, just to kind of throw out there, Kendrick Lamar with Good Kid, Mad City, for example. Even Malcolm Moore, Ryan Lewis, The Heights, which, again, while I don't like that project, those were two rap projects that were talked about in 2012 when it came out. Chance the Rapper's mixtape also was kind of under the shadows of the fact that another big mixtape at the time was also popping off. If I'm not mistaken, you had Live Love ASAP by ASAP Rocky, and the whole ASAP gang was also in full throttle. So with Chance coming out with 10 Day, I think this is a good, solid project. But it felt like, it was in his own lane, in his own direction. And this was just essentially Chance showing potential, more or less, during his early days. So this one, easy, gonna throw this in the C row. I think that this mixtape has aged pretty well. Again, there are songs over there I would pick and choose to listen to every now and then, but overall, as a whole experience, this wasn't the project that really got me to Chance the Rapper. Because going into the next one, Acid Rap, 2013's Acid Rap, this mixtape was really the one. This is considered by many Chance the Rapper fans as Chance's best project, one of his most iconic projects. The album cover of Acid Rap is literally synonymous at this point, especially given the artwork, given the background, everything. And Acid Rap was really the moment that I took Chance the Rapper truly seriously, and I started paying attention to him big time, because Chance had a really, what I consider to be one of his best projects ever. Again, you can probably make this huge contention right now with this project and the next one we're going to talk about, but I am an Acid Rap fan. I've always been an Acid Rap fan to this day. From good ass intro featuring BJ the Chicago Kid, which really is like an explosive freaking intro, to Pusher Man, going to Paranoia, the two-part track that was super good. Even Cocoa Butter Kisses, which not only featured Vic Mensa, but also fucking Twista of all things. Juice being a really good single to lead to the acid rap. Everybody Something, favorite song, Nah Nah, Smoke Again, Acid Rain, Chain Smoker, even the fucking outro. Like, it's so good, man. Like, Acid Rap was something special that Chance was able to replicate. And for me, somehow during this period, he was able to capture a sound, a vibe, an aesthetic that for me can never be replicated in future Chance the Rapper projects, in my personal opinion. And again, we did have like Flash in the Pan with, his next project I'll be talking about, and even Starline. But Acid Rap is just a special project that if you really want to get to Chance the Rapper, if you really want to know what he is capable of and why he was super, super hyped back during his come up, Acid Rap is 100% the mixtape you have to check out. And like I said, you, again, listen to Acid Rap and listen to 10 Day. They are night and day different from each other from what they are. It's crazy. Production's still out there, the lyricism is still out there, the features are much stronger. Everything about this project speaks acid rap, more or less. So, with that being said, I think you can already tell because I've been praising the hell of this mixtape so much. Acid Rap easily gonna be the S tier. I don't think we need to really lean forward to that. Acid Rap is a straight up S tier. If you were to tell me what is a Chance the Rapper project I should listen to if I want to get to Chance, this is it. Acid Rap is the one. But we go into the next one, 2016's Coloring Book. This mixtape is the third and final mixtape from Chance that we dropped, and this was released independently, but this was the mixtape that really blew up mainstream wise. And this came out back in 2016, and during 2016, a lot of big things were happening with Chance, where Chance was signed to Kanye West's Good Music before Kanye West went fucking ballistic and went crazy. There's also the fact that every feature artist wanted to work with Chance because of what amazing talent that he worked up with Astrap and the numerous amount of features that he featured over the years. And Coloring Book was essentially the culmination of everything that Chance has worked super super hard for up until this point. Again, from from the hit single "No Problems" featuring Lil Wayne and 2 Chains, which is still a pretty big single that honestly now captures what 2016 was all about to this day. To Summer Friends, to Dram Sing Special, Blessings, Same Drugs, Mixtape, Angels, Juke Jam, Smoke Break, fucking Finish Line slash Drown featuring T Pain and Kirk Franklin. Again, the feature list, the production was absolutely bonkers. And I will say that while Coloring Book may not be as special and as potent and as memorable and iconic as Acid Rap, Coloring Book is definitely up there as like a must listen to if you really want to know what made Chance in the first place. Um, Again, I can't really like complain much about any songs here that I think are absolutely bad. Again, I will say listening back to like All We Got featuring Kanye West and Chicago's Children Choir, I do think it is a little like over the top and blaring. So I will say that this is probably the weaker intros of any Chance project up until this point. But I think despite that, like again, it really picks it up immediately with no problems. And then the rest of the mixtape is just like fireworks after fireworks from there. Again, the production just feels like everything that we last heard from Acid Rap. It really is like what Chance had to offer up until that point. And again, it's not surprising that this mixtape is probably the mixtape that a lot of people really got to know who Chance the Rapper was, because this not only went mainstream in the first place, but this was one of the first mixtapes to ever win a Grammy in the first place. So again, pretty big mixtape to come around in 2016. For me, though, personally, between Coloring Book, Acid Rap, and 10 Day, I think Coloring Book for me is a project that I will be 100% down to re listen to. But between this and Acid Rap, I just think that Coloring Book kind of nears doesn't make it a little bit for me, because, again, the listening factor for Acid Rap is just so damn strong compared to Coloring Book, where it's still there. There's a lot of strong highlights, but I think that this can't be there. So yeah, I think with that being said, I would have to put Coloring Book in the A column. Again, really good mixtape from Chance. Um, this to me was like him at his absolute peak creatively during like his come up and people talking about him. But with that being said, you already know what it is. You already seen it. 2019's The Big Day. Considered by many to be one of Chance's worst projects ever, easily one of the most disappointing rap projects that have come out of all time. Now, this debut album, a debut album, mind you, really was the moment Chance really truly screwed up big time. And I'm not even gonna name you any songs. This album's terrible. I'm not gonna be around the bushes. This is without a doubt Chance's worst project. I don't know what happened during this time period, like everything that Chance built up with these two mixtapes prior, and it's crazy that to this day the Big Day is super disappointing, like remarkably disappointing. Really bad lyricism. The production half the time feels like a Spotify ad for a majority of the songs. The features, while some of the features here are really good, there are a ton of moments where the features overshadow Chance's performance, and the features outtake Chance in general. Again, I could the biggest one, Hot Shower, where even Mad and TL and the Baby have a better performance than Chance did on Hot Shower. And again, these are facts that you can already check out online. It's already been spread about with the Big Day at this point. But yeah, the Big Day. I'm not going to beat around the bushes with this. This is an easy F tier. I'm not going to have to explain any further why this thing's bad. It's absolutely terrible. Not going to elaborate anymore, and I'll leave it at that. All right, but now Chance's newest project, 2025 Starline. So, as of me recording this video, I've been listening to this thing nuts to butts nonstop ever since I dropped the my video reaction to me listening to this project like two times in a row. I've been listening to this shit like as much as I can, and I gotta say, Starline is not a perfect album by any means, but I think that this is one of the best comeback projects from Chance I've seen from him. The vibes, the aesthetics, obviously the art style is reminiscent of Acid Rap and Coloring Book and 10 Day. And to me, I'm going to say this right here with my chest out high. Starline is like is truly the perfect successor to Coloring Book in every way. Again, from Starsight intro to Ride, No More Old Men, The Negro Prom, which is such an amazing concept song. Um, Again, Back to the Go featuring Vic Mensa and Drapetomania. Both of these songs featuring like some features that I wouldn't be crazy about. They brought their fucking A game on. The highs and lows featuring Joey Badass still sounds so good to this day. Gun Your Purse featuring Young Thug was also great. Tree, I when I first talked about Tree, I didn't like the song originally, but now re-listening to that song over and over again, I actually appreciate it. This song actually kind of grew on me pretty well. If we're talking about like what I think is like the weakest song off this project, I will say "Link Me in the Future" probably might be the weakest, because it feels like it got dragged a little bit too long, and I wish that it kind of ended in a much more sooner way. Oh, but easily best song off of this new project is "Speed of Light." This feels like acid rap, coloring book era kind of of a song, and it's just so good. And I do think that Chance really, like, again, Chance in general made one of the best comeback mixtapes, or sorry, projects that I've heard in years. And it's crazy that given the amount of disappointment that the big day was from 2019, it's crazy that Chance, you know, didn't give up. He has been dropping singles throughout the past 6 years from the big day up to his newest project, and one of these songs that he dropped during this time period were amazingly good. Whether they were loose freestyles or songs that would eventually land onto the project, this was a really good way to keep people wanting to know when Chance was going to drop a new project. It's amazing. This is fire. I can't really say much else about this mixtape, other than God, Starline, easy A tier, easy A tier. I think, like I said, with a few more listens here and there, there's a potential that this thing could really hit an S tier. And I think I am overrating this really high right now, and you may call this a bit biased, but I think Starline is just a solid project all the way around. Again, definitely some low points that is a little bit reminiscent of Coloring Book, for example, but it doesn't stray away from the quality of the said project. And yeah, there you have it. My tier list of every Chance the Rapper project. Some pretty obvious, some not so obvious at this point. But yeah, just wanted to make this tier list and share it out there because I've been put to the Starline mixtape or project or whatever, and it's amazing. It's great. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one later.